It's a big day for India's vaccination drive. 9 months after launching the biggest vaccination drive in the world, India today has administered 1 billion vaccine doses. On your screens right now is India's live vaccination tracker. You can see how the number keeps increasing every second. It's well over 1 billion now. The country is celebrating the historic milestone in a number of ways. The national flag will be unfurled at Red Fort in the capital. Indian monuments across the country will be lit up, and the achievement will be announced at bus stops and villages across India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the country, saying that India today scripted history, and he also visited a government hospital in New Delhi and paid tribute to all the doctors, nurses and COVID warriors who helped to achieve this momentous feat.
और किस तरह से इसमें इजाफा किया जा सकता है, इसकी भी जानकारी ली।
आज ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। 3 किलो की का पहले बात तो ये
आज 21 अक्टूबर 2021 का ये दिन इतिहास में दर्ज हो गया है। भारत ने अब से कुछ दूर पहले ही 100 करोड़ वैक्सीन डोज का आंकड़ा पार कर लिया है। मैं देश की वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनियां, वैक्सीन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में जुड़े कर्मयोगियां, वैक्सीन लगाने में जुटे हेल्थ सेक्टर के प्रोफेशनल्स, सभी का खुले मन से, हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
The World Health Organization congratulated the Indian Prime Minister, scientists and health workers of India for their efforts to protect the vulnerable groups from COVID and for achieving vaccine equity targets. India has administered more vaccine doses than any other country in the world apart from China, with no other country having a population of anything close to the 500 million. The billion doses club would only have India and China. Now, the United States has administered a little over 400 million doses, and over 800 million doses have been administered in all of Europe. This comes as a landmark move as the country faced huge supply bottlenecks, storage challenges, a fair amount of vaccine hesitancy in the initial period. India reaches 1 billion milestone in just about 275 days. For over 3 months of this year, the country was in the midst of the worst phase of the pandemic, one that crippled its health system. The first vaccine dose in India was administered on the 16th of January this year. It took India 85 days to touch the 100 million vaccination mark. It crossed the 500 million mark on the 6th of August. A record 21.8 million doses were administered on the 17th of September. 74% of India's adult population has received at least one dose. 31% are fully vaccinated. Despite the phenomenal work in speeding up vaccination in the last 2 months, there is still a steep climb ahead. India is aiming to fully vaccinate its entire adult population by the end of this year. This means an additional 900 million doses have to be administered by the 31st of December. Now, for more, our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, has sent us this report. Take a look.
Well, a very positive news in terms of India breaching that psychological mark in terms of the vaccination number here in the country. And of course, the Indian government has planned a lot of events. We have seen all throughout the day how, of course, there were visuals coming from across the country. And of course, the transport hubs, railway stations making that important announcement. But largely, this is a positive news, not only for India, but for the world as well, because it is looking like now, realistically speaking, that the entire human population can be vaccinated vaccinated when it comes to the pandemic crisis, dealing with the pandemic crisis. But of course, India has challenges in terms of logistics, and that is why the development which has happened today is much more important in terms of the logistics which were involved, the healthcare workers who were involved, the scientists who were involved. And we know that already congratulations have been pouring in from across the world. World leaders from Israel to Bhutan to Maldives have been congratulating India for this important development that has taken place. And it also essentially is a positive news for India's vaccine export that was suspended, again restarted. Iran has got vaccines from India, and focus is that more and more countries, especially in the neighborhood, get India-made a vaccine. And this development, in a sense, is a booster for that development. Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.
India's mega vaccination drive marks yet another milestone. 1 billion vaccines administered across the nation. We told you how it all began.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the world's biggest vaccination drive.
How we marked one milestone after another.
India will have nearly 120 million doses in June.
Catch all the latest updates on India's vaccine journey.
Biggest vaccination drive in the world, India today administered 1 billion vaccine doses.
India's mega vaccination drive. WION. Continuing coverage.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.